radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Man, oh man, good evening. How you doing? How you doing? All right. It's Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. I'm waving at you. I'm waving. How you doing? How you doing? This is great. All right. Today's Thursday, August 12th, 2021. Very special night here. 225 days into the new year. Only 140 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in the middle of nowhere. Camera moves. A total undisclosed location. But tonight, we're also coming to you live from the Making Contact campus. Tonight it's the Jimmy Church Auditorium. Look at all of you here. This is great. This is absolutely amazing. I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I am excited. All right, tonight, it's Thursday. It is Fadernight. It is open lines all night long. It's your calls, your conversation, UFOs, conspiracy, time travel, the paranormal, supernatural, lost history, pop culture, guitars, whatever. We're going to do all of that tonight because it's my favorite night of the week, where I get to hang out with all of you. And also tonight, we are simulcasting. We are live over at the Making Contact campus. And I'm going to move my notes over here to the side. I'm going to let everybody know I can see you. I can see everybody sitting in the auditorium, and I'm going to wave. I'm going to wave at everybody. Does everybody know how to wave back? I'm waving at you. Now, I want to see everybody wave back. And, yeah, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. And for the audience out there that is, hello to everybody that is watching me on the bunker cam. I'm not watching everybody wave. Yeah, that is great. I can see names. We got a pretty good crowd. Yeah, we got a pretty good crowd here. So this is, and if you haven't joined, tonight was a little special treat for everybody. We're going to do a normal Fader night tonight, and everybody that is here in the auditorium today, you can see how these events are going to go down in the future. Look at all of you guys waving. And so, yeah, this is me, and this auditorium, this beautiful island, this campus that they have put together. I want to thank Mark Sims and, of course, Captain Ron. And there's Captain Ron running around right there. Maura and Michelle Anderson is in the house. Michelle needs to stand up and wave at everybody. And so this is the deal. This is an auditorium. This is the future, right? And we're all sitting here in these seats, and you guys are facing me. This is totally cool. And I have always enjoyed with Fade to Black over the years to to bring in everybody in an interactive sense on Fade to Black. So we've got all the chat rooms, and we have the sandbox on Twitter, and we've built this amazing community where I am able to interact with everybody live during the show. And I've always tried to look at what technology can bring to Fade to Black. And I just love it. I love the social media world. And now this, what they have built here for this community is absolutely incredible. And for those of you, and there are a lot of you and still walking in, you guys get it. How incredible is this? You've got an auditorium, you're taking a seat, and I'm up here in front of you like this, and I can see it all going down. This is really, really cool. Now, all of this is a setup for next week, which kicks off on August 18th. It's August 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, 5-day conference, Making Contact, that's going to take place right here in this auditorium. And these screens that you see right here in front of you, the guest will be here and speaking and presenting for over those 5 days. So I encourage everybody that is listening to me now, I've put all of the links up for you to get registered right now, get your avatar, get in here, and if you pull it off, you can still do it tonight and come and hang out with us. Now, the promo code is JimmySave100. That's all uppercase, JimmySave100, and that is courtesy of Mark Sims. You will save $100 off of the ticket price, and you get your avatar and come in here and hang out. After the show tonight, I want everybody to stay in the auditorium. Then we're going to go full on live, and I'm going to hang out with all of you for a bit, and let's have a chat. All right, so we'll do that tonight after the show. With that, I've got a show to do, and kick back and enjoy everything, and let's get the show cracking. All right. Let's get straight to it. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio if you haven't done that already. Come and chase me down on social media, and it all starts right there at JChurchRadio. Next up, the sandbox to interact with us is hashtag F2B on Twitter. All of the other chat rooms are open, of course, Facebook, YouTube, and KGRA, The Planet. Let's get to the breaking news. Check this out. Mount Etna, Europe's tallest and most active volcano, has erupted so much in the past 6 months, it has grown 100 feet in height. All of this according to satellite images. The youngest and most active of Etna's 4 summit craters, the southeastern crater, is now the tallest part of the volcano, towering 11,013 feet above sea level, the tallest it has ever been in recorded history. And that is incredible. Now, this news broke right before the show tonight. Are you ready? Now, don't freak out, but check this out. A Los Angeles County judge has dismissed one of the 11 charges in the indictment of Harvey Weinstein, according to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. Count 5 in the indictment, a charge of sexual battery, was the one dropped today. Now, Alex Bastian, special advisor to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, said, quote, Mr. Weinstein faces very serious charges. 10 of the 11 counts stand. We are taking appropriate steps so that justice prevails in this case. End quote. Yeah, he's already convicted in New York. Now, check this out. You know, over the years, we've always heard Florida man. Florida man, right? Florida man. Well, now we've got a California man. His name is Matthew Taylor Coleman. He has now confessed to killing his children, referring to QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories that made him do it. Coleman spoke to authorities about being, and I quote, enlightened by QAnon and Illuminati conspiracy theories, end quote, including that he had visions that his wife, quote, possessed serpent DNA and had passed it on to his children, end quote. Coleman also said said of the killings that, quote, he knew it was wrong, but it was the only course of action that would save the world, end quote. Beware of those conspiracy theories. All right, let's get this show cracking. Happy birthday to today. One of my favorites, Cara Delevingne, is 29 years old. Of course, she was the star of Valerian, one of my favorite movies. Dire Straits guitarist, Guitar God, one of the great guitar solos in history, Sultans of Swing. Mark Knopfler today is 72. Jazz great Pat Metheny today is 67. And here we go. Fade to Black's producer Renee today says she is 29 years old. Happy birthday, Renee. Our dead guy's birthday today is Leslie Duncan. 1943 to 2010, Leslie died at the age of 66. Leslie was a singer-songwriter, best known for her work during the 1970s. She received a lot of airplay, but never achieved great commercial success because she didn't want to she didn't want stardom. She didn't want to chase anything, as well as she had insane stage fright. So instead, she was one of the most in-demand backup vocalists in the music industry, singing backup vocals on albums for Elton John, Dusty Springfield, Donovan. She also sang vocals on Jesus Christ Superstar. But it was the big one. She's that backup singer lighting up all of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. That's right. That was Leslie. And you've always wondered, right? Those gorgeous, right? And you just... That was Leslie Duncan. Her final album appearance was singing lead vocals. Check this out. Alan Parsons, If I Could Change Your Mind, in 1979. But after that, she walked away from the music biz. She moved to the Isle of Mull in Scotland, where neighbors never knew about her previous life in the music industry. Leslie died on March 12, 2010, at the age of 66. Wow. On this day in history, 30 BC, Cleopatra dies by suicide, taking her life following defeat of her forces against Octavian, the future first emperor of Rome. Now, here's your Fader fact. All right, here's your Fader fact. And they're always good, aren't they? They're always good. Today, check this out. All right, hold on, man. Man, my phones are going crazy. Here's your Fader fact. The Hollywood sign appearing to be lit up at night is an illusion. That's right. It's just reflecting the city lights below it. Yeah, it has only been lit up once since the 1940s. And that was New Year's Eve, 1999, rolling in the year 2000. Yeah, and that's your Fader fact. Tonight, it's Fader Night. It is open lines all night long. And it's a very special night here tonight, okay? I'm hanging out with all of you. Look at this beautiful crowd. So that's me on the big screen. All right, so now I see the delay. Okay, that's interesting. So we're running about a 10-second delay, everybody. So watch this. I'm gonna wave my hand, and let's count. I want everybody else to wave when I say wave, and we'll count it. So I'm waving. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds. Everybody's waving now. Wow. Isn't that isn't that bizarre? Okay, so we got a 20-second delay. We are broadcasting live tonight. We're doing a simulcast to everybody here in front of me at the auditorium at the Making Contact campus. Oh, now I'm doing the countdown. Yeah, that's interesting. It's more like 30 seconds. Okay. River Moon Coffee. You guys are seeing me do the show live. This is where each night I say, River Moon Coffee. I like my coffee dark. I do. I like my coffee dark. RiverMoonWellness.com. River Moon Wellness, where you can get my Fade to Black blend. You can get all of our wellness products. Everything is right there over at River Moon Wellness. You can visit our Amazon store. You can click on all of the links over at jimmychurchradio.com. It's all simple to do. River Moon Coffee, the best coffee in the world. Now, all right. This is the part of the show where I talk. Now, for those of you tonight, I wanted to say a couple of things. And again, today I went over and hung out with Christina Gomez. Histories with the Mystery, Paradigm Shifts. She's amazing. And the whole conversation today got me thinking about a couple of points. And it seems that, and last night I did a huge rant on entropy. And entropy is a strange thing in that there are so many definitions for entropy, and you can go into science, you can go into physics, and you can go into pop culture and look at these different definitions of it. But I need to constantly go back and remind everybody what entropy means to me. And I do this. And the other thing that, and it's Christina sometimes, and going on other shows is what I mean here, gets me to thinking. And on Fade to Black, I don't, or any show, I'm always the host. I'm always interviewing. If I'm at a conference and I'm hosting a panel or introducing somebody, I never talk. I never get thoughts out. And here at Fade to Black, where we have done almost 1,500 shows, I did another 300-400 shows for 6 years over at Coast to Coast, and I don't, in any of that, I don't inject my own opinion. But what I have done over the years is learned a lot. And when I go on these other shows and I'm invited on as a guest, I find myself exploding out, just getting these thoughts out and these emotions out that I don't have a chance to express. I just don't do it. And because I'm interviewing, you guys want to hear from the guest. You don't want to hear from me. My opinion doesn't matter. My thoughts don't matter. But I've learned a lot. And one of the things that is paramount is this world that we are in today, where throngs of everybody walks around looking at this all day long. They're looking. And spending their day on their phones. You walk through an airport and you just look around, and everybody's DNA has changed so much that they can walk and not look where they're going. Right? They look down and have a radar. I don't get it. What happened to me is this. I have been broadcasting for over 10 years. And for 3 hours a night, I'm not on the internet. For 3 hours a night, I'm just talking. I'm having a conversation with somebody. And I often think that if I made that suggestion to my kids, to my friends, where I said, hey, put down your phone for 3 hours. You can't touch it. You'd lose your mind. You'd have a mutiny. What I have found is that those 3 hours a night for me, and it's actually longer than that, but for those 3 hours a night, I am free of the internet. I am free of the ball and chain. I am free of the addiction, and I am able to just sit and talk. And what if we could do that as a world? What if we could do that? Go back to actually talking. Now, my point in all of this, in those 3 hours a night of talking, sitting down and conversing, I've learned a lot. And I have gone through an evolutionary stage in my world of discovery. Not only self-discovery, but discovery of knowledge and trying to figure things out, which takes me back to Christina Gomez and Bob Will today. And where my mind was with ET and UFOs and contact, right? The ET hypothesis, the UFO question, how it has changed. And I've gone through this evolutionary step. And although I have seen things in the sky that are definitely metallic and mechanical and flying somehow, right? Actual physical craft I have seen in the middle of the day, incredible sightings, I've seen these, that there's that. And then there is the consciousness side, where you go all the way from that, some accidental sighting, something in the sky, something crazy, something fun, to this consciousness connection, where I know through my own experiences, where I have thought about saying hello and something shows up. I would have never thought that I would have gotten to this point. Now, I am somewhere in the middle. I am. There's a connection between this physical and this consciousness side. And then there's this. Probably the most important part for me. Over the last 25 years, when we go back to 1995, 1995, seems like yesterday, doesn't it? We go back to 1995. In 1995, all of us were still wondering if there was another planet outside of our solar system. What is out there? It's the greatest thing that we do. We go out and we look at the sky and we look at the stars and we just wonder, is there somebody out there looking back at me from one of those stars, is looking at our sun and wondering if there's somebody else looking back at them. That's it, right? 1995, we discovered our first exoplanet. Over the course of the next 5 years, going through the year 2000, we found 5 more. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. That's it. That's 20 years ago, 21 years ago. 5. Today, science tells us that every star that you see in your backyard has at least one planet. Every single one. As a matter of fact, the 500 billion stars that we have in our Milky Way, each one has at least one planet. I'm going to have Avi Loeb on the show next week, and from Harvard. Avi said on this program a couple of months ago, Avi said, Jimmy, it's not 500 billion stars in the Milky Way. I said, it's not. He said, no, it's probably over 1 trillion. 1 trillion planets. Now, if we look at this, that's such a mind-boggling huge number. But this is some of the stuff that I have learned in the last 20 years, the last 10 years, the last 5 years, where my mind is shifting. It's shifting. Where today I now know that we have at least 80 billion rocky Earth-like planets in the Goldilocks zone just in our Milky Way. Not in the universe. These are our neighbors. How can this be? 80 billion. So today, when I think about the metallic craft that I've seen in the sky in the middle of the day with my friends standing around me and we lose our minds, to the night watches and the sky watches and night vision and plasma crafts and things and movement and the fun that brings and the joy that brings. When we have 80 billion Earth-like planets around us, of course we're not alone. Of course. And that is not reaching out beyond our Milky Way, where there is another trillion galaxies like our own. And each one of those with a trillion planets or more. What if there's 3 planets around each star? We have 8, 9, 10, right? The amount of life in our universe is infinite. It's infinite. Oh, it's got to be finite. No. The trillion galaxies that we know about are a guesstimate, because everything else on the outer edge of that, the observable universe, is expanding out faster than the speed of light, and we will never see it. We will never know how many galaxies were ever there. That's how big everything is, and that's what I have learned. We are being visited every single day by numerous intelligent civilizations coming from all parts of this Milky Way and probably the universe and beyond. That's why I do Fade to Black. That's why all of you are here tonight. It's Fadernight. It's open lines, 747-228-2051. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, and that's what I have learned in my 3 hours of night talking. I'll be right back after this short break taking your phone calls. We are simulcasting live tonight from the Making Contact campus. Tonight they're calling the auditorium the Jimmy Church Auditorium. Thank you for that, Ron and Mark and more and everybody over there. I'll be right back after this short break. You're going to get the full treatment of Fade to Black tonight. You get commercials. You get me coming in and out. You're going to get all of that. This is a live radio show. Welcome, everybody. I'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
This is Nicole Church, daughter of you-know-who, and you're listening to Fade to Black on jimmychurchradio.com and the Game Changer Network.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. Introducing the Game Changer blend from River Moon Coffee that delivers a customized blend made specifically for the Fadernauts. If the game is rigged, change the game. It's a bolder cup with some bite. Game Changer is the coffee of choice for those that prefer an organic dark roast that is slightly lighter and milder, but it's still dark. With wild notes of pecans and chocolate with a rich, balanced, full-bodied cup that is roasted to perfection for a great coffee to start your day, as an after-dinner coffee or anywhere in between. Artisan, small batch roasted to perfection. USDA certified organic, all River Moon coffee is freshly roasted and packaged in the USA. Just go to rivermooncoffee.com or click on the banners over on our site and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. rivermooncoffee.com.
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRARadio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can get our podcast for just $2 per month. All you have to do is click on the podcast banner over at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, folks. It's troubling times, and fear is pushing emotions, which in turn pushes health the wrong direction. Do you ever get an ache because life is uneasy? Try Life Change Tea at getthetea.com. Life Change Tea works on your digestive tract, helping to move food through quicker and comfortably so your health is spot on. Life Change Tea may not help with world issues, but it will help with your digestive issues. A glass a day helps keep the intruders away. So, change your life today. Log on to getthetea.com. That's getthetea.com. If your health game is off, get on by ordering Life Change Tea. Getthetea.com. And while you're on our site, look around at the great non-GMO organic supplements. And if you're a sales shopper, go to our specials page and see what's for you. I've been drinking the tea for 12 years, and I'm sure glad for its health benefits. Again, that's getthetea.com. Getthetea.com. The tea that makes you go.
Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, The Planet.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey. You're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night. It is Fadernight with open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. We're going to get to the phone calls in a second. I want to let everybody know what's going on tonight. We are broadcasting through all of our normal syndication partners, and we are also doing the simulcast live with the Making Contact Campus. I'm in the auditorium. I've got a room full of people in front of me. This is pretty cool. Let me move my phone lines over to here, and so I can see everybody. This is great, and I can't wait till next week when we kick off the conference and this auditorium is full. This is absolutely incredible. Hello to everybody out there, and with that, let's get straight to the phones. It is Thursday night. It is Fader night. Let's see who's up first. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's?
Star Family.
Oh, wait a minute.
What's going to happen here?
Hold on. Okay, Mark Sims, you need to mute because I have Mark Sims coming in live too. Okay, who's calling?
This is Mark from Dallas, homie.
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Man, I am fantastic. How are you doing tonight?
It's Thursday night. It's Fader night, Mark, and everybody here in the auditorium is listening to you right now. So say hello to everybody at the Making Contact Conference Hall.
Hello to everyone in the hall. I hope everyone's having a fantastic night.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It looks like we're having sound again.
Okay, Mark,
this is the live feed. We're trying to.
Mark,
let me just try something here real quick.
Okay, Mark is interrupting here, and I've got them muted.
Let's see if this.
It's pretty cool.
Hang on, just
hold on, Mark.
Mark, this is the live feed. We're trying.
Is this better?
Mark Sims, you need to mute your microphone. You're coming in live. Mute everything in the hall. Everybody with their hall mics on, please turn them off. All right. There we go. Mark from Dallas. What are we doing tonight?
Man, well, first of all, I gotta thank you. I have so much gratitude.
Okay,
suggested we watch the movie Val.
Hold on. What the heck is going on here? Okay, I need to stay there, Mark. I need to mute this. And that can't happen. Whatever you guys are doing right now, over in the hall, you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Okay, thank you so much. And I don't know how we okay. Wow, I don't think we can continue this tonight because I have Mark from Dallas on the other line, and this is not muting over here. They are pulling in the other feed off of YouTube. You guys can't use that. And wow, this is really turning into a drag because Mark, to stop it. Yeah, this is a drag. Mark from Dallas, are you there?
Hello, do you have me?
Yeah, I do. And see, this is the thing in the simulcast, the way that we've got it set up, they're pulling in the wrong feed. And
Gotcha.
they're pulling in the YouTube feed instead of the other feed that they should be using. So, and I've got to mute this, or we don't have a broadcast going out to everybody else. So, with that, I'm going to watch the feed on the screen, and I know that you've got a time capsule that you're going to take me to.
I do, man, and it's very exciting, and I just want to thank you. I don't know if you heard what I told you. I want to thank you for suggesting the movie Val about Val Kilmer. I watched that right after you said to watch it, and it is mind-blowing. It was a great suggestion, so thank you for that.
Yeah, hold on, Mark. Hey, Ron. You've got the YouTube feed on the screen. You don't have my feed coming in directly from the link that I sent you.
Great suggestion.
Okay, well,
so thank you for that.
Yeah, hold on, Mark. Hey, Ron. Yeah, this can't. You've got the YouTube feed on the screen. You don't have my feed coming in directly from the link that I sent you. I got to mute this, man. Ron, I can't have this up on
great suggestion.
Okay, well,
so thank you for that.
Yeah, hold on, Mark. Hey, Ron. Yeah, this can't. You've got the YouTube feed on the screen. You don't have my feed coming in directly from the link that I sent you. I got to mute this, man. Ron, I can't have this up on
great.
That's it. So I just canceled that. They can broadcast me up on the screen. Okay, hold on. Let me call Ron back now. I just can't have it coming in here. I just can't. Okay.
This is live radio, people.
Yeah, this is live radio. And hey, Ron. Okay, I'm just taking you off of my screen. You just run live. Okay, that's all fine. I just can't have the auditorium in here. Okay? Okay, I'm done. I got to go. I got a show to do, Ron. Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, let's go back to 1985.
You can't make this up. Okay, brother.
Yeah, I know. This is awesome.
Knock this out.
This is like WKRP. This is the turkeys. Turkeys getting thrown out of the helicopter.
Dude, this is much better than my 1985 game. I swear to God.
I know. The frozen turkeys are raining down. Oh, wow. So, okay. So everybody in the auditorium, I can't, you guys enjoy the show, and the technical difficulties are now over. Okay. Take me back to 1985.
Whew, okay, and I'm going to take a deep breath. I've got my sparkling Pellegrino on the left. I've got my Clyde Mays whiskey on my right, which is almost gone, by the way. We're going to go to 1985, bro. That year. Now, what inspired me was that beautiful picture of you that you posted of yourself from 1985. I wish you could repost that because that was so inspiring.
It was.
That was the inspiration for tonight, brother.
All right.
So thank you for that. That was a great picture.
Yeah, I was 129 pounds.
Dude, you've slept about 2 hours a night during that phase.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And just imagine being 6 foot tall and 129, 28-inch waist, and still so trying to lose weight, right? Still trying to lose
weight. Wearing those leather pants.
Yeah, I know.
My God.
Oh, man. I remember in high school, Mark, this was my, I think it was my freshman year when I wrestled. Are you ready? I think my weight class was 114. And I was
serious,
I was
man?
5'10". God. Oh, jeez. Oh, man.
God,
those days are so far gone, man. So far gone. Okay. Take me back to 1985.
We are going to 1985, and the Battle of the Bands that you have to give me February 14th. You and I are going out on Valentine's Day. I'm not sure what that means, but on February 14th, 1985, in North Fort Myers, Florida, Lee County Civic Center, the Great Iron Maiden.
Ooh. Oh, man. Okay, so
band number one.
Okay, Bruce Dickinson is now in the band. Right. Paul Di'Anno's out.
Bruce Dickinson is lead vocal.
Right. Okay. Yep. All right.
Yep. So, against the band number two out of Tacoma, Washington, at the Tacoma Dome, with this is the artist formerly known as Prince. And this is the Purple Rain Tour.
Oh, you ain't right. Are you going to have me make a choice between
I'm sorry, bro.
1985 Bruce Dickinson or 1985 Prince Purple Rain?
I'm sorry, but yes.
That's blasphemous. That's blasphemous. That's blasphemous.
Oh, man.
Okay, all right. You know what? I'm going to offend a lot of people here. I'm going Prince.
Okay.
I'm going Prince.
I would agree.
I'm going Prince.
I would agree.
And let me can I explain why? I need to explain why. As I sit in front of my heavy metal Iron Maiden guitar collection, right?
Right.
You don't see a Prince guitar behind me, but it's this.
Nope.
Back then, I didn't get Iron Maiden. I didn't. I totally got Ozzy, totally got Black Sabbath. I was a big Van Halen guy, all of that. But Iron Maiden, I didn't get until probably 2005, 2010. And that's really the truth. So back then in 1985, I would have gone to see Prince instead of Iron Maiden. So I'm gonna go with that. I would have seen Prince that night.
100%. 100%. All right. I'm glad we agree on that. Now you're going to be faced with July 27th, 1985, Austin, Texas, the Frank Irwin Center, a little band I like to call Rat.
Ooh. 85 Rat. 85 Rat. Okay, I got a story about 1985 and Rat. Okay, keep going.
Okay. Now, they may, I still can't get you will know the answer to this. I'm reading in some places where Jake E. Lee may have played with them some that year live.
I don't, I think in 1985, Jake E. Lee was already in Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, he was.
So, no, and Jake E. Lee's time in Rat was when they were still in San Diego. But continue, who's my other band?
In competition, in his Couldn't Stand the Weather tour, Toronto, Canada, at Varsity Arena, is Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble.
I knew you were going there. I knew it. I'm going Stevie Ray Vaughan. I'm with without any question there. But in my defense, in 1985, I go to see Rat at Irvine Meadows here in Southern California. Mm-hmm. Opening, check this out. Opening for Rat was headlining, was John Bon Jovi. That's right.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
opening.
yes.
That's how big Rat was in 1985.
Yep.
So I go, and they open up with lack of communication. Right? I started to cry. I couldn't believe, right? I lost my mind. And I go up, I'm with my guitar tech, and this is on All That Is Holy. This is what happened. I'm going to say this right now. Deb from Sacramento, please stop calling. That is you that is hanging up, and that's the noise in the background. Okay, is this. I go up with my guitar tech, Rob Cazares, and we go and we sit. We had friends with us, and we're right in the middle, about 20 rows up, 30 rows up. And I can see the city of Irvine behind Irvine Meadows. It's up on this hill, right? This auditorium outdoor.
Right.
And I can see the city of Irvine. And right in the middle of lack of communication, as tears are rolling down my face, I see in the background, I see these squares, like square miles, going dark. Dish.
Oh my God.
Dish. Right next to it. Dish.
What?
Dish, 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 dish. Boom. And then the power goes out at Irvine Meadows. Total blackness in front of us, right in the middle of lack of communication. I got tears rolling down my face. And the power goes out. I'm like, what?
Yeah, you got tears.
I would have jumped off of, if there would have been a building, I'd have jumped off of it. It was like that. And we sat there for, oh my gosh, we sat there for like 3 hours. And the crowd didn't go away. And we just sat there and sat there and sat there. Then they finally got the power back on. All right, do we have a number 3?
We do.
Okay, what is it?
And you're going to hate me for this one.
Okay.
So, February 19th, 1985, London, England, at Royal Albert Hall. So you know this is going to be a big one. Royal Albert Hall is the Phil Collins No Jacket Required tour.
Okay.
So,
which I saw.
That was pretty big.
I saw that tour.
You did see it?
I did.
Okay, so the coolest thing that I found out on that tour was they had the Earth, Wind, and Fire horn section, which I would give my couple pairs of shoes to go see them back in the day. They were extremely tight.
Okay, so and who is the other band?
In Detroit, Michigan at Joe Louis Arena, the Deep Purple Perfect Stranger tour.
Deep Purple. I'm stopping you right there. Deep Purple.
Yeah.
That
okay.
was,
we don't have to talk.
That was Ian Gillan. That was Ian Gillan on that tour.
Yep.
And and I saw that tour too as well.
You did?
Yeah. And now I've seen Genesis. I don't know how many times, and I saw the Phil Collins tour that year. But I also went to go see. I couldn't believe how great Ian Gillan was in Deep Purple. I love that album. I thought it was a great album.
Oh God!
And I'm just such a huge fan of Ian Gillan. Ian Gillan.
Me too.
By the way, it was Sexton's birthday yesterday. Did you know that?
Oh yeah. Yes, I did.
Okay, I just
I heard you announce it.
Okay, good. Back to Ian Gillan, the Black Sabbath album, Born Again, with Ian Gillan.
Yes.
Now, and I love Ozzy, I love Ronnie James Dio, but that album, Born Again, holds a certain spot in my heart too as well. It took Black Sabbath in another direction. And Ian Gillan was just spectacular on that. And then right after that, he does Perfect Strangers with Deep Purple.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a great song, man. I love that song. Golly, it's a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song. It's a great video, too. It's a great video. Them in the studio. It's a great video. Them recording at the Manor in the UK. So there you go. Mark from Dallas. Thank you so much, my friend. What a great way to kick off the show tonight.
Thanks, brother. Have a good one. We'll talk to you soon.
Behave
Bye-bye.
and be well. Oh, hey, Mark.
Hey,
Don't hang up. You did your night vision last week. What did you see?
I'm taking you outside with me to listen, and I'm getting my night vision ready. I didn't see as many as I thought, but the ones I saw were pretty big, and I saw a lot of big ones last night. So I'm hoping to see some pretty impressive ones tonight as well.
Yeah, go have some fun, Mark, and thank you for the memory lane.
Okay, man. Holler at you soon.
Talk to
Bye-bye.
you. All right, Mark from Dallas, and he always, what I enjoy with Mark and his phone calls is he knows. I mean, he's a guitar player. And he's also, he's like law enforcement and he's all of that. But the ability for him to get inside of my head and, Iron Maiden, you can't do that, man. You can't do that. Iron Maiden versus Prince. And how you go and research all of this, it's pretty cool how he puts all of these together. So thank you for that, Mark. And, what else? Oh, Rat. That was a true story about Rat. I started crying right in the middle of lack of communication, and the power went out. It was a grid. It was like a checkerboard, and I saw it, and I was like, man, what? That looks weird. You could see the electrical grid. It was going out. Anybody that was there at that concert knows exactly what I'm talking about. We all saw it. The whole city just doosh, 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 doosh. It was like Close Encounters. Remember when the power went out in the cities in Close Encounters when the UFOs came down and the grid? It was like that. It was trippy. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Justin from Salt Lake City.
Hey, Justin from Salt Lake City. How are you, man?
Doing well. I'm the caller from last week.
The caller from last week. And what did we talk about?
UFOs and some potential theories regarding the UAP report. And you said something that resonated pretty deeply when you mentioned that the key was the complete denial that it was us.
I think it's one of the keys. Yeah.
So I took that to heart and hit the ground running with it. And I kind of took my research into a different direction that I normally don't go after, right? It's not my normal strings that I go tugging at to see where they lead. And so I spent all week kind of tugging at a string that took me down a direction with a lady named a physicist named Ning Li. Are you familiar?
Mm-mm.
Okay, here we go then. So Ning Li is a physicist that worked at the University of Alabama in connection with a Russian scientist, and it's very hard to pronounce his name. I emailed you a pretty good analysis on this, so if you find it, it's titled Urgent Justin from Salt Lake City. If you find that in the subject line and open that up, I've got resources and links and a good little breakdown on what I'm about to tell you tonight, but it's going to go a lot deeper in that email than what I have the time for tonight.
Yeah, we've got about,
but I'll give you...
Justin, we got 3 minutes before the break.
3 minutes, okay.
Yep.
So I'll be quick. All right, so Ning Li worked for the University of Alabama in gravity modification in the 1990s and beyond. And so keep in mind, Bob Lazar's escapade was in 1989. Ning Li was researching gravity modification at the University of Alabama, and her research and the breakthrough that she had was quickly picked up by the United States government. She left the University of Alabama to go work with the United States government with her research. So in her research, she found that it requires a minimum of 11 kilowatts of energy to produce a mass reduction, a gravity modification within an object, that she was able to prove that it was able to reduce the measurable weight of that object as well as the measurable mass. That breakthrough was quickly scooped up by the United States government. Now, she went completely dark after that, and this is published information. Now, soon after, by 2004, she completely disappeared from the United States altogether. And it was later discovered that she went to China without the permission of the United States government, and very suddenly because of cancer. And she wanted to seek medicine in China in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
Very strange, highly unlikely, because China's capabilities with dealing with cancer doesn't even compare to the United States. So it was probably a red herring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Left for China, was never heard from since. Now, 2004, she disappears. You have the emergence of these UAPs with the fighter jet pilot, the incidents with his Tic Tac video that happened then. Now, what's interesting is, I want to wrap this up with Bob Lazar, is Bob Lazar said in one of his testimonies that he is, and every time he's had to recount his testimony, said that one of his counterparts, when he was at S4, was trying to open up a vehicle, and as a result was vaporized. What's very interesting is you can find her research, and like she said, a minimum of 11 kilowatts just to produce the effect, safely assuming that you're going to need much higher energy levels to produce this effect for a much larger mass. Now, that makes sense with Bob Lazar's claim that somebody was vaporized from some kind of high energy, which Ning Lee was able to confirm to have a modification on gravity requires a ton of electricity.
So
now,
I've never,
unescorted.
Justin, before we run out of time here, I've never heard this this statement from Bob Lazar that one of his coworkers was vaporized. I've never heard this before. Where did you hear this?
Actually, let me correct myself. It wasn't actually one of his coworkers. Let me correct myself, actually. It was one of the people that he was replacing that had died, and the person that he was working for told him that's how he died. If you go back on his videos, you will hear that recounting that story.
I thought I knew. Wow! This is all news to me. Do you remember which video
Absolutely.
it was in?
You can recount this in many, many videos, including one that I know that you can find, I believe. I know you can find this in that documentary that he did with, I'm sorry, I'm having a loss of words, with the director, the most recent one, where it's got a picture of him with his aviators on. That recent documentary he did with that investigative journalist director gentleman.
Okay.
He's got that long beard.
Are you talking about?
You can find it in that video.
In the Area 51 flying saucers video, the documentary. It's in there.
The newest one. Yes,
Yeah.
You can find it there, and you can also find it with his interview with Joe Rogan, and you can also find him in very old interviews that he did from the past. He does recount the reason why he was picked up was because there was a position open because the person before him died via being vaporized by trying to open up the craft.
Yeah, I didn't see the Joe Rogan interview, Justin. I missed that. I've only watched. I was at the premiere in Los Angeles for the movie, but I just don't remember it. I don't know how I missed it, but that is pretty interesting. And Justin, I got to head to a commercial. Thank you for the phone call, and let's have another longer conversation next Thursday night on Fadernight. Thank you so much, my friend. With that, I got to get to a break. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It is Thursday night. It is Fader night. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. I'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of forbiddenknowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to forbiddenknowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on forbiddenknowledge.tv today.
Because you never got that pony you always wanted. Damn it. Jimmy Church and Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network. KGRADB.com.
Listen, I know, and you know, that you've always wanted your first crystal skull. Or maybe you're a collector just like me, but you just don't know where to go to find the real thing. Then I met Carolyn Ford over at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. Carolyn is the guardian of Einstein, one of the most respected ancient crystal skulls in the world. All of her unique skulls have been imprinted sitting with Einstein in his sacred lodge and are carved from the finest gemstone and materials. Imprinting is the process of receiving the ancient wisdom from the master skull or master computer. Einstein, the ancient crystal skull. To see Carolyn's current collection of crystal skulls, just visit her store at EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com or click on the banner over on our site. Don't forget to use the promo code Jimmy at checkout to receive 10% off of your order today. That's promo code Jimmy. Finding your first or next crystal skull is easy. Just visit EinsteinTheCrystalSkull.com. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
Hello, I'm Katie and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA digital broadcast station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. We're also the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and you can become an official Fadernight by just going to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com.
Hello, this is Serena Wright Taylor from Conscious Life Expo, and you're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church, who holds the Lucky Pony record for the best astrological chart since 1963. True story.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fader Night. Not just any Fader Night. We are broadcasting live also over at the Making Contact campus
in the auditorium there. Hello to everyone that is listening in, and I hope you're enjoying the show so far. And it's open line, 747-228-2051. And let's go straight back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Greg in New York.
Greg in New York. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, Jimmy. How are you, sir?
It's Thursday night. It's Fadernight, Greg.
Okay. Jimmy, I want to talk about the John Titor. If you know, I know you know who I mean. I followed the story, and I've been monitoring details, and I wanted to bring up a few details that just alerted me about what he had said.
Okay.
He mentioned.
Well, let me jump in, Greg. For everybody out there,
Sure.
Greg is talking about John Titor, the time traveler that reached out to Art Bell and jumped into message boards 1999, 1998, 99, 2000, right in there. And I was right in the middle of all of that back then. But John Titor was a time traveler that came in, visited us, and then split and hasn't been heard from since. So that's who we're talking about now. Go ahead, Greg.
So the two things that I want to point out that he said regarding, his timeline, he mentioned that the war, he said that first there was a civil war and then there was a global war. But he said the global war started between Australia and China. Now, this is something that's heating up with them at the moment. The other thing that he mentioned was, gosh, I just drew a blank. The other thing how the country was split up into 5 sections.
Yes.
And he mentioned that there all the groups were represented: the Republicans, the Democrats, the Green Party, the Liberal. Robert David Steele. Now, I'm sure. I mean, I can't verify it, but I don't think that he followed the John Titor story. I can't confirm it, but I'm going to gamble that he didn't. But he has a campaign right now focusing on the exact same thing.
Who? Robert David Steele?
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to spend time on Robert David Steele on the show. But back.
No, I don't want to spend time on him at all. But
okay,
it's just,
good.
Interesting that he's doing this on his own. He wants this representation of. He wants to get rid of the current structure, basically.
So Robert David Steele has run out of content. So anyway, back to John Titor.
I just thought it was interesting that he had this, and I said, "Wow, that's what John Titor said. The country is split up into 5 sections, and all of those are represented." Now, whether he takes the credit for starting it, and in some point in the future we do head there, I don't know. But it's interesting that on the political platform we have now, he's the only one doing that or mentioning anything like that. So it just went into that John Titor thing and I just wanted to bring that up. So thank you for letting me discuss that, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
Right on, Greg, and enjoy the rest of your night. And it's a great phone call. John Titor, and I spent a lot of the early shows of Fade to Black speaking about John Titor, and I had his attorney on, the attorney for the family, many times. And how do I say this? I believe in the John Titor story. And there are many elements of the John Titor story that I find difficult to disprove. And that includes the typesetting, the graphics of everything that was presented back then, his time machine, how that was laid out, the stickers that were on it, the time machine that was inside of the one of the cars. And so there's that part of it. And then the other elements of it in that has never been represented before in time travel. And one of the things that John Titor pointed out, and I always zeroed in on this, where you have to, when you are traveling time, remember the Earth is orbiting the sun, the Earth itself is moving, and so how do you know? You go and you want to go back in time on Earth, 100 years, 50 years, a day, whatever, that you don't just end up out in the middle of space. The Earth is now in another spot. You have to be back on Earth at the exact time. If you're going back 5,000 years or you're going forward or whatever, you have to know where the Earth is and what spot on the Earth. Now, let's say you know where the Earth is and you get to the Earth. How do you not end up in the middle of the ocean drowning? You want to be, and so he pointed that out, and it was the measurement of gravity at that exact point and place where you are at. You will end up at that exact place because of gravity, altitudes, things, placement. Gravity will be different no matter where you are on the Earth if you measure it in the smallest of measurements. So I always thought that was very interesting, and nobody else talked about that in time travel. I'm talking about science and physicists and science fiction too as well. Never pointed at that aspect of it. You go back to H.G. Wells and his book, The Time Machine. As old as it wasn't the first book on time travel, even though it was written in 1890 or whenever it was written. There was another book called The Time Ship that came out like 30 years before that, which is also great. Anyway, so you're jumping into this machine and you're setting the date and you take off. How do you know where the Earth is? Right? That's the thing. How do you know? Well, you have to have that part figured out, and John Titor did. And I also believe that John Titor said it was General Electric, I think, that designed the first time machine in 2030 after the Great War. Well, we're sitting at 2021, so we will see how it plays out. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Yes, this is Brad from this is Brad from Gulf Breeze. How you doing today, Jimmy?
Brad from Gulf Breeze, Florida. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. Speaking of time travel and John Titor, I wanted to throw a shout out to Mr. Andrew DiBaggio or
Bishago.
The name
Bishago.
Yes, sir.
It's like Chicago.
Yes, gotta throw him in the time travel.
Yeah, it's like Chicago with a B. Bishago.
Bishago, I like it.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah, I had to throw him in the time travel in the mix.
Yeah. I haven't heard from him in a while. Wonder how he's doing. Okay, so what's on your mind, Brad?
Well, a couple things. Great show with Stephen Bassett. The Disclosure. What an amazing time we're going through right now. With that being said, I'm glad you brought up Jim Marrs. I'm reading one of his books right now, and Disclosure, pretty much everything I always like to think about Jim Marrs. Also, tomorrow, Friday the 13th, rest in peace, Art Bell.
Oh, is that tomorrow?
3 years now.
Is that tomorrow?
Yes, sir. He passed away in April, but he passed away also on Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that's right. I'll never forget that night. And it was really strange because I was doing research. This is how it went down. I was doing some research, and I was in the bunker, and the research pulled me over. Remember, I don't broadcast on Friday nights, right? So I'm off, and I'm in the bunker, and I'm working. And this research took me over to a Las Vegas news site, and I'm there, and I update the page. I'm reading the page, and then I update and now it says right there, Art Bell died. And I thought, no. And I'm looking
no
at
way. Friday the 13th. Has to be a jinx.
But this is the deal. So I go and I jump around and to a couple of other Las Vegas Better Business beer, whatever business, and I confirm it like on 3 different Las Vegas news sites. That was after about a minute, and this was I'll give you, this is just my memory, but it was like 9:45 the post. Then at 9:46 and then 9:47, I'm looking at the timestamps, and I called George Norrie. I said, George, Art
That's
Bell.
what I found. Right.
Well, this is what happened. I called George. I said, Art Bell. No, he didn't. I said, he did. Can you confirm? I said, I've got it right here. And then I get a phone call from Lisa. I get a phone call from Lisa Lyons from Coast. Can you confirm this? So I send them an email, 3 different websites, and she calls me back and says, man, this is crazy. I said, yep. And now Coast to Coast is getting ready to start at 10 o'clock. And right before the show time, George calls me back and he says, you want to come on the show? And I said, yes. So it was, in my weird way, it was just coincidence, but that's how George found out. I called him and got Lisa involved, and then I went on the show on Coast to Coast later on that night to talk about it. It was crazy. That was a crazy evening.
Well,
it was very surreal.
The first time I ever rode on a Greyhound was that night, and I remember halfway through the show, he didn't break the news till about halfway through. It
was about halfway through. We were too busy confirming. He didn't want to say anything live on Coast until it was 100% confirmed. But we were all chasing things down. Yeah, that's how it happened.
It was about midnight. It was about midnight Texas, and I put it on my son. I'm glad the lights were out because I shed a few tears. I remember you on there. Whitney Strieber came on.
Yep.
It was a rough night. Ian Coast. Yes. Last thing, I don't want to bother you too much. I heard you have Daniel Sheehan. You got me hooked on Daniel Sheehan I think it was about, I have the notes here actually. You told me to get a pen and a paper out, and I did. And I believe it was, where'd it go? Here it is right here. November 28th, Daniel Sheehan. You did a 3-hour show with him on Coast to Coast. Got me hooked ever since. I've been a Fadernight ever since.
Right on.
I heard you're doing some type of thing with him soon.
Yes, I'm doing a couple of things with Daniel. This August 18th, next week, the Making Contact conference put on by both Mark Sims and Daniel Sheehan. That's next week. And then the month after that, the Conscious Life Expo, we will be sitting down, I think it's on Saturday night. And the keynote thing that evening will be Daniel and I sitting on a stage in a couple of big overstuffed chairs, and I'm going to interview Daniel for a couple of hours live. It's going to be great.
Will that be virtual? Or?
That you just go to ConsciousLifeExpo.com, and you can get all your tickets and info there. Yes, there is a simulcast, live stream, and then also next week with Making Contact. And with Making Contact, use the promo code JimmySave100. Save $100 off of that. And then over at Conscious Life Expo, the promo code is Jimmy. And you'll save some money there, too, as well. Thank you so much, Brad. And Gulf Breeze, the UFO capital of the world. Right on.
That's right on. Hey, real quick, hopefully you can get Leo Zagami back on the show sometime soon. I'd love to hear what his thoughts are on the world right now.
Yeah, Leo's the best. And thank you for reminding me of that. Thank you so much, Brad. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Yes, sir.
Right on. And, man, he just brought up Andrew Bashago. I haven't heard from Andrew. With Andrew, over the years, he called me all the time. Andy, man, called me, and I haven't heard from him in quite a while. Andy Bashago, the time traveler. All right, let's keep the calls going. This is great. Thursday night, Fader night. It's your calls all night long. 747-228-2051. Let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. It's Debbie from the Jimmy Auditorium.
Are you in the auditorium right now?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so you got a little time delay, right? So right now you don't see yourself on the big screen. Okay. All right. So it's pretty cool in there, isn't it?
It is. I'm still negotiating my way around. I was in earlier today, but after I download the software, I had some. I'm not going to go into detail. I still need to do some troubleshooting if I'm going to engage later tonight, and I'll see if I can suss it out. My laptop has. I'm going to name my laptop Hal. It's in charge of me right now.
But it's
a little bit stressful.
Yeah, the software is amazing, man. It is so cool.
It is.
Yeah, so you're sitting in the auditorium and you've got everybody sitting around you. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's not
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's fun.
Yeah, it's
And I took over an hour to design my avatar because it's so cool and there's so many choices.
Yeah, no,
that it gives you to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
But it.
I would
but
like
your avatar. I reckon.
Mine's pretty
Sorry, go
close.
ahead.
Yeah, mine's pretty close. I couldn't get it quite, but anyway, it's so much fun. So much fun. Okay, so what's
There's
on
no
your
mistake.
mind?
Well, no, there's no mistaking you for you. You look exactly like you.
Okay.
The thing is, we all know what you look like, so you're easy to recognize.
Right on.
Well, yeah. I'm going to make it quick tonight because I don't want to do Kubrick until next Thursday. If we're having a Fader night next Thursday, I still need a little bit of prep time. But what I thought I'd do is, like last time, I would just ask you the questions. That way, you don't have to put in any study or work since you are on a tighter schedule. And yeah, the whole virtual thing, though, I'm looking forward to exploring that more and having fun with it. So, what I wanted to ask you real quick, and then I'm gonna go, is when you got back from Indy the last time, you said that you went to the cat rescue place and you engaged with Gage, the tiger.
I did.
And you got video, and you said you were going to post it. And I've been waiting breathlessly to have you post. I want to see it so bad.
I never posted what Deb is referring to. My mom works at a giant cat rescue in outside of Indianapolis, and so my mom took me there, and I was able to go and hang out with these ginormous cats, tigers, and lions and things. And
oh my!
And hold on for a second. Let me see if I can pull up. Okay, here. Look, that. Okay, let me back this up. This is me. Now, this is how crazy this video is. Let me back this up. Okay. And this is Gage. That's the name. And he's like a year old, beautiful, handsome, and look how close I am. So here it is.
Okay, a slight delay, but I'm watching you on screen. I can't see him yet. I can't wait to see that video, though. I can't wait to post it.
It's absolutely crazy. And, you can't hear me talking to him. Hold on.
No.
Hold on.
I've got you on screen, but I've got the...
Hold on. I'm going to back it up again. This is me hanging out with...
Ooh. Oh, my God. Oh, Tiger, he's beautiful. Wow.
Listen to me. I'm talking to him.
Okay.
I hope everybody can see that.
I could see it on screen.
Yeah. And so my mom, with these cats, my mom, since they were little cubs, fed them, right? And I mean, they even had a litter. I think they had 9, right? And so, but my mom's walking through. This is my mom, man. I was tripping out. My mom's walking through, and she's like, whatever the cat's name is, like, "Hi, Gage." They just pop up. They know my mom's voice. They've known my mom's voice since they were cubs. And they just come walking up, and I'm just like, it is the most heartwarming thing. Now, this isn't like Tiger King. These cats live the life of Riley. Each one has got this ginormous, like an acre cage with everything and a big pool they can jump in. But wow, it was, I've got a lot of video. I've got... I
really hope you post some because we want to see it so bad. I've just been dying to see that.
You have no idea. There was before I get to the break. So the tigers, right? And the first time you see a full-grown tiger, it's like 9 feet. You're blown away. So majestic. Anyway, so we're walking through. And we come around the corner, and my mom goes, "Now, these are 2 female lions in this cage. They live together." And I look across, and I see them, and they're off. They're like 50 yards away, lying there like the Sphinx, right, with their paws out in front. And my mom tells me the name of one of them, whatever, Mary or whatever. And I said, hey, and Mary looks at me like this from across. And I was like, oh, my God, that is the biggest thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking big, like a ton, right? So anyway, she gets up and goes up. You know the little carpet-covered cat towers that cats sharpen their claws on that you buy at the pet store?
You bet.
Right? Okay,
You
we
bet.
all know what those are, right?
Right?
She gets up and goes up to this tree, this massive tree, stands up on her back legs, goes up on this tree, and is sharpening her claws and looking at me like this. And she was like, it must have been, I don't know, when she was all stretched out. I don't know what I'm talking about here. 12 feet? You know, with her just stretched out, just clawing this tree. And I was like, oh, man, that's the king of the jungle right there, man. That's my proof. But it was so much fun. And, it was extraordinary. I've got a ton of video and things that I took of that day. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done. And my mom's been doing this for like 25 years. And she started with Jack Hanna at the Columbus Zoo, and she did the big cats with Jack Hanna and worked for him for years. And she would always tell me these stories, and it was like my mom telling me, okay, all right, whatever. And I just I didn't absorb what she was telling me. And then finally, this last trip back, she goes, I'm taking you. I said, let's go. And mind blown. It was incredible. It was an incredible experience.
And wasn't it a great experience? You know, I know that there's a place like that here in California, Tippi Hedren. That's, Melanie Griffith's mom. She was in the Birds.
Uh-huh.
And she has her own cat sanctuary here in California. And my friend was telling me about it. He wants to go and look it up because it is still running. She takes in, just like that, maybe not as luxurious as their place, but, she takes in cats and tries to give them a decent life, wild, tigers and things. And people come and visit and contribute. So when you post the video, Jimmy, please do it soon if you can. I know your time is really busy, but when you do post it, can you put up a link for donating to the the Wildcat Sanctuary there? Because I definitely want to contribute to that. Wildcats, as big cats, are just, I've always loved them.
Yeah, it's real. I'm going through these videos here. I've got so many, and but I'll get them posted up as soon as I can. All right.
Okay. Well, hopefully I'll be set up tonight to meet you in the auditorium if I can get this sussed out on my end. But if not, adieu for now. We'll meet you eventually.
Yeah, it's. I'm showing one more video before the break, and
okay, I'm watching.
It was just crazy, and they were so nice and so cool. But listening,
didn't you get kind of a rush seeing them up close like that? Doesn't it give you a rush?
Listen, when he's walking up to me, this guy here, and he's purring, right, and he just wants to hang out, man. He's just walking back, he's got this huge cage. I'm by myself, right, and it's this huge cage, and they just get up, walk over, and they're purring, and they rub their face on the thing, and they're,
right,
it's not your cat purr. This is a whole nother purr, man. It was just wild.
Yeah, it's that thing. Kate, were you tempted to try to reach through and pet him at all, or were you?
Oh no contact like that. No, there's no way I would. No. But it's completely isolated. Even the handlers there, when they're feeding them, the cats are taken into a holding pen. And then they take the food out. There's no human contact. They put the food out, and then they come back out. Then they open up the holding pen, and then there's nothing like that going down. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. Okay. Very respectful.
They have to be careful.
I'll talk to you, Deb. I got to get to a break. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks, dear. See you later. Bye.
Deb from Sacramento. Yeah, those lions. That was the lions and tigers. It was absolutely incredible. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Do you want to be an official Fadernight? Of course you do. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. Just go to our membership section at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. Fadernauts. When you think about the future of our country and where we're headed, do you wonder about the food supply? I do. Disruptions in the food supply chain could be disastrous, and they usually occur with little warning. That's why the smartest thing you can do today is to stockpile emergency food, water, and other essentials. I personally recommend My Patriot Supply. They're the nation's largest emergency preparedness company, serving millions of customers for more than a decade. In fact, they're the only source my family trusts for our preparedness plan. You should too. Right now, save 20% off a full 4-week supply of delicious meals that provide 2,000 calories a day. Saving 20% helps too, doesn't it? Especially now. So go to preparewithjimmy.com and get ready. That's preparewithjimmy.com. There's no time to lose. Do it now.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. Thursday night, it is Fadernight. It's open lines all night long. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. We are doing a simulcast tonight over into the Making Contact campus. and the Jimmy Church Auditorium tonight. So hello to everybody in there. And this is my favorite night of the week. And hanging out with everybody and just open lines and conversation. And it is something that has developed into something pretty big over the years. And if you've never been involved with a Fadernight and checked out how we do this all night long, it's pretty cool. So just open lines, unscreened, unfiltered, uncensored. It's all of that. And we are going to go straight back to the phones. I don't know if you guys were able to see, I wasn't watching, I was just holding the phone up to some of those videos. And after watching, the Big Cat Rescue outside of Indianapolis, and the guy that runs the place, his name's Joe, and I met him. He's great. My mom has worked for him for it's like 20 years, a long time. But after seeing Tiger King, the anger that I had for all of that and the different factions. This is the rescue that is taking in all of those cats from all of those just insanely bad situations, and they all go here. And so there you go. And it's a wonderful, beautiful. When you see how it's the life of Riley, and after they've had a very bad situation that these cats were dealing with in whatever part of the world in the United States, they get over here to this place, and it is truly the life of Riley. Man, they got it going on. They're so well taken care of, but it was one of the great experiences of my life. Just incredible. With that, let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, man. This is Lord Ludicrous Plaid.
Lord Ludicrous Plaid. Okay, how are you?
I'm great. That's my YouTube and Twitter handle, but my name is Chris. So, yeah.
All right, Chris, what's on your mind?
Yeah, man. I was just calling to see if did you get a chance to catch any of the Tom DeLonge, Simi Van interview with Brian Keating and Kurt Jamungle on Theories of Everything. Pretty interesting.
No. Is this new?
Yes. They did the live about 5:30 today Pacific. I'm sure they're going to re-release it tomorrow or the next day. I didn't know if you had caught it or not.
No. I had a very, very busy day. So are they saying they're going to keep TTSA going?
He did. Yep. He kind of even mentioned, people investing in it, things like that. Not to throw out spoilers for anyone who hasn't heard it. I wish I could have heard Simi Van speak a little more, because it's rare that he's, that you get to hear him speak the way that he did.
Right.
But it was a very interesting conversation, so I definitely hope you get to catch it in the next day or two.
Well, I'm sure somebody will send me the highlights, and
I'm sure.
It's pretty cool that Tom Simi Van's another story altogether. He is working for the CIA as I speak to you right now, but Tom has been silent since the fragmentation of TTSA, and Lou and Steve Justice and Chris Mellon leaving, and everybody wondering what was going to happen to TTSA and what's left and so forth. So okay, I'll check it out. But what else is going on?
Yeah,
Chris?
they did cover that a little bit. It's interesting. You'll see Simi Van defend the CIA. They bring up many projects, and he kind of got squirmy. It's a good interview. But my second question for you is, with the nuclear explosions, things like that, I was reading today that the last nuclear explosion in the United States was in 1994 underground.
Uh-huh.
So my question to you is, do you believe that the higher atmospheric and above ground nuclear tests disrupt possibly different than underground nuclear tests?
Yeah, that is something that I think we all think about quite a bit. And I certainly have. And there is a certain amount. If you go back to Trinity, the original, the first explosion, they didn't know right? They didn't know. They had no clue what was about to happen. And I remember Oppenheimer and a few others, the physicists that were involved back then, said that we didn't know. We didn't know if there was going to be a chain reaction and the Earth would blow up, right? We would disintegrate the atmosphere. We didn't know. And going into that kind of test and not know, can you imagine the nerves? Okay, so you have that part. And then all of the nuclear tests that went around the world, if you think of Bemini, and it wasn't just the United States, it was Russia, it was China, it was Israel, it was India, Pakistan, the United Kingdom, all testing, right? And I think there was over 2,000 tests. I don't know how many that went down to the Nevada test site, but if you look there and you see the pock marks, it looks like the surface of the moon. Yeah. But all of the stuff that was above ground going into the atmosphere, and all of it for naught, if you think about it. There's no way that any of those weapons will ever be used. Right? It's not going to happen because that'll be the end of everything, and that would really suck. So all of that nuclear testing done really for nothing, and all of the money that was spent in building all of these nuclear arsenals by all of the countries in the world, where all of that money could have been spent somewhere else. Yes, all right, it's an obvious thing to say. But was all of that nuclear testing worth it? And what kind of after effects are we going to have in the centuries ahead because of everything that was done? And then you throw in, the whole nuclear science part of this, but then you throw in 3 Mile Island, right? You throw in Fukushima and Chernobyl and the lasting effects that it's going to have. Fukushima, I don't know, and I'm being serious here. I don't know if I'll ever eat sushi again. Right?
I don't think I will either.
Right?
Right. They're getting ready to dump all that spent water that they cleaned stuff up with right back into the ocean.
And ridiculous. And all of it that has been until this next dump that has been going into. I mean, how can you go into a restaurant in Japan without a Geiger counter? I'm being serious.
Good point.
Right? Can you imagine, just whipping out a Geiger counter, you've got your sashimi, your dragon rolls in front of you, you take out a Geiger counter. It's just like, no, I don't know. I don't know about the lasting effects of all of this. So yes, your point is well taken, Chris.
Wild. Well, I'll say a couple more things real quick, and I'll jump off. Last time I called you, I asked you about what your thoughts were with, Annie Jacobs, with her at the end crash. I know you probably, it was like last week. I'm not into that. My thing was, I wondered if they did that to take away from the other 2 crashes, but that's neither here nor there. But I guess they got the EMP information that they wanted, off those bombs, and then there was the Bikini Atoll test.
Yes.
That ended up being 10 or 20 times stronger than what they thought, and knocked out power across half the country for a day or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, see, there were 2 or 3 different types of nuclear bombs, right? And so the ones, the very early ones, as devastating as they were puny compared to the thermonuclear stuff that came much later that were, 100 times, just, yeah. I think the biggest nuclear detonation of all time, that was Russia. I think the biggest one was in Russia. I could be wrong, but man, there's just no way. When you look at the size of the mushroom cloud and the things that are going on with that mushroom cloud, in a weird way, it's majestic and beautiful, right? It's just like, but think about how big that is, the heat that is involved, and how it is affecting everything around it. There's just no way it's good. It's not. It can't be good. It can't. There's no positive benefits coming from that kind of testing. So as far as I know, the testing's over. And I think the last test, wasn't it Pakistan? No, wait, North Korea did a test.
North Korea.
Yeah.
North Korea. But I think they do theirs underground also. But no, my last thing, and I'll let you go, and I really appreciate your time, is, do you think that possibly they don't, I say they as in much smarter people than us, and they that are visiting don't want missiles, nukes in space? I mean, couldn't that create like an artificial sun? Doesn't the sun work off the same type energy off of an atomic explosion or hydrogen explosion? So in a zero G gravity, could it possibly continue, drag in other stuff, and then start to continue, pull hydrogen, whatnot, out of the atmosphere?
Okay. Now, so what you're referring to here is fusion. Now, I know that right now I'm going to sound like I know what I'm talking about, okay? But no, I'm not a physicist. I just study this stuff. I play one on TV, okay? And so what you're talking about is the state of our sun right now, okay? Right now, in the now, that is hydrogen fusion at its core. And so you have the hydrogen in the middle of the sun. You have a shell of helium around it, and it's burning at about 10 million degrees. Okay, that's what it takes to get the hydrogen fusion happening. And it's very stable, and like I said, it's like 10 million degrees. And our sun is running at about 15 million degrees in the middle. You only need 10 million for hydrogen fusion. 10 million degrees. So that's burning. But as that core, the hydrogen gets burned up, then it's going to switch, and you are going to have helium at the center and with a hydrogen shell. And when that transition happens, now we're talking about 100 million degrees to have helium burn. And our sun won't achieve that. So instead of the fusion happening and everything dispersing out, this is what's going to occur. Our sun is going to shrink. And when it shrinks, and this is all part of everything that is going to happen in our future, as it shrinks, then the temperature is going to increase as gravity starts to take over. And then we are going to have a massive helium fusion happen at 100 million degrees. And then our sun is going to expand. Ginormous. So much so that the edge of the sun may touch Earth. Now, when a couple of things will happen. When the sun shrinks and the gravity pushes in, there's going to be less gravity holding the planets in. So our orbit is going to loosen. The gravity pull on our Earth is going to be less, and we're going to be further out. So as the sun then expands in the helium stage of fusion, will the size of the sun reach out to Earth? Hopefully, Earth is going to be further away. But the point is, at that moment, Earthlings will be gone. It's not that we're going to be killed. We will have left Earth by then, because the temperature on Earth is going to be thousands of degrees. There's not going to be any oceans. There's not going to be any atmosphere. All of that stuff goes away. So we're already going to
Mercury.
Yeah, we're going to be on starships. We'll be way far away from our solar system. And then eventually what is going to occur is the helium is going to burn up. That's going to be replaced with oxygen and carbon at its core. The sun's going to cool down. It's going to shrink, and it's going to be a little white dwarf, and it's just going to sit there until it phases out and goes to nothing. And that's over the next 5 billion years. When all of this great transition happens from hydrogen to helium, some physicists are suggesting that is going to take about 4 billion years. There are other physicists out there that say it could be as soon as 1 billion years from now. But over the next 1 billion years, we're going to stay pretty stable. But when it goes, it's going to go, and it's going to be crazy. And whoever is left on this planet witnessing what's going to happen with our sun, and some of it is going to be pretty dramatic and pretty quick. It's going to be an amazing thing to see in the sky, but we will probably at that point have all left Earth. So there you go.
Hopefully we'll be hopefully we'll be sipping Mai Tais on Elysius by then.
Yeah, we will. We will. We will not be in this solar system. This is not the place to be when all of those transitions go down. See, I sound like I know what I'm talking about. I think I just
do.
Yeah, I impressed myself. Chris, have a
And
good
you
night,
impressed me
man.
As well. So, hey, thank you so much for your time, and keep on keeping on.
Thank you so much, Chris. It is now time for you to fade to black. But it's let me see here. Who's on hold the longest? Okay, we got this guy by a minute. 1 minute longer. So let's see who's up next. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jim, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Who's this? Turn me down in the background.
Already did.
Okay.
Let's, here we go. Point Doom, Tenacious. A lot of people know me from other shows way back in the past, like Third Phase of Moon as F1.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
I talked to you many times over the years. You know me.
I do? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Michael from Point Doom.
Okay. How you doing?
Okay. The only reason I'm calling you is because something really interesting happened the other day. I remember talking to you once, and it was just supposed to be a random quick call, and you kept me on for about 45 minutes as I tried to tell you that the fires were being started and the earthquakes were all being started over the railway system that they're putting under the earth. And that goes from San Diego up into Canada and whatnot.
Okay.
That was also explaining some of the vibrations that people were having in Southern California next to the coast from Oceanside up to Washington. So this guy comes in the other day and he's wearing a logo on his shirt that I recognized as being one of the companies that was supposedly doing this work underground. No one was in the store, so with the risk of getting in trouble and losing my job, I asked him some questions. I'm saying, isn't that the company that's doing the new railway system that nobody wanted to admit that was happening from basically Mexico up to Canada?
What's the name of the company?
I'm not going to say that.
Why not? Nobody knows who you are. Oh, what's the name of the company?
Yeah, everybody. You know what, bro? I don't believe that. So if you want to listen, I'll tell you that this is what he told me.
But no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying right now, nobody knows your identity, and so...
I don't believe that at all. It took me a lot to call you tonight. I just wanted to tell you what happened because I have no other reason to call you other than to say what a moment it was for me when I asked this guy, is it true that you're using alien technology to melt these tunnels? And he said they were 200 meters under the ground. And they were literally vitrifying the rock to where it was. They weren't using like what the big dig was in Boston, where they weren't using the moles. They weren't using auger bits to remove the rock. They were using photon explosions, which was causing the earthquakes that Southern Californians were feeling from San Diego up to about Santa Barbara on a regular basis.
What's a photon explosion?
He was saying that they were using a photon type energy as a primer blast, then coming in with these machines that were literally melting the rock and causing archways so that they could form this railway system. And that people were actually only living or working for 10 years before they were getting radiation poisoning. and they would pay off the families to not make complaints against the government.
He said all of the, and you just met him.
Well,
that's a lot of disclosure from a stranger. That's crazy.
Yeah, Jim, it is. I would agree that, but I have a way with people that kind of assures them that, look, man, I've been doing this my whole life. I've been trying to find out the truth. And he did. He said it, and he finished. As he was finishing, I did have a team member come up and say, "Holy shit, you've been telling the truth the whole time." And I just wanted to let you know that you didn't believe me about the fires being created by satellite beams. I said that they were blue beams, and you were saying no. Blue beams are used for holograms, and I'll give you that. But what I'm trying to say is that the fires are being started to create, and a lot of people that I've talked to in Northern California are saying that they're removing live trees rather than the dead trees, like they were signing off. They'll come to your property and saying, do you give us permission to remove the dead trees due to the fire? And they're removing live trees, which are more closer to the projected railway, so that they can have access to above ground machinery. I'm not here to waste your time. I'm not here to get in an argument. I'm just trying to give you information that I got, and I promise to God, this is 100% the truth. I have no reason to lie to you.
Okay, Michael, I've got 30 seconds. What's the purpose of this underground railway that's going from Mexico to Canada on the West Coast?
Well, I think it's honestly, what my best guess would be, as they have the same type of arched railways going from California all the way through Maine and up through Nova Scotia into Canada, with different stores underneath, like Albertsons and Walmarts. I believe that either it is to feed and transport the select few that are going to be saved from either nuclear or our bad brothers and sisters that are space oriented, for protection and to provide some sort of shelter for them in an underground living situation, and to transport goods and people from north to south and east to west, and vice versa. That's my best guess.
Interesting. Well, I would love to know the name of the company. And he had, I've got to take a commercial break right here, Michael, but he walked in and he's out in public wearing a logo
actually,
T-shirt.
There was nobody, and we have a relatively normally busy to semi-busy traffic in our location, even though we are up in eastern Orange County, which we are in a location that it's not always that busy, but it was about 11:30 in the morning. And, the way it happened, it was like predestined. And I'm not saying this to make myself happy. I'm telling you this because it was, honestly, I felt so justified. And it was like that one piece of candy you never thought you'd get at Christmas, and you got it. And I was honestly just, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I gotta take a break. Michael, thank you for the phone call. I bet it was Bechtel. That's my guess. It's Bechtel. Thank you, Michael. Have a great night.
Well, if I said you were right, would you be happy?
Yeah, I'll talk to you. Thank you, Michael. Bechtel. I'll be right back.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal Guard on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Why is it we're not very good with our health regimen until it's too late? We don't put oil in the car until the engine blows up. When the body's out of balance, your health is not so good. Give your body some love. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. Try our Life Change Tea, which cleanses you from harmful intruders. A clean colon is one of the ways to bring the body in balance. We also carry organic supplements to help you get where you need to go. So do your body a favor. Log on to wtih.com. That's wtih.com. You can even visit our sales page to save some dough. Does anybody call money dough anymore? Anyway, if you're looking for short, helpful health tips, go to YouTube and punch in Health Matters Now. That's Health Matters Now. So, log on to wtih.com, shop, get balanced, then learn some cool tips at Health Matters Now. You'll be glad you did. That's wtih.com.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I only drink Fade to Black blend coffee from Rivermoon. Just click on the Rivermoon Coffee banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Promo code F2B
This is the only way forward.
This is Fade to Black. Make contact. KGRAradio.com.
When you're in the house for longer periods of time, you can see them flying or running across the floor. Ooh, yuck. They're unhealthy, gross, and disgusting. Bugs. I loathe bugs. We keep a clean home, but occasionally bugs show up. Well, I found something that is tougher than bugs. Orange Guard. On contact, it kills hidden bugs, including ants, roaches, and fleas. Plus, Orange Guard is a residual repellent. All of the ingredients of Orange Guard are on the FDA generally recognized as safe list. Orange Guard may be used around food, humans, and pets. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. Orange Guard, available at orangeguard.com, Whole Foods, and Ace Hardware.
Gold loves chaos, uncertainty, and disarray. History shows us what gold does when people aren't sure about the government, the stock market, their jobs, or their retirement savings. Our national debt is skyrocketing. Gold and other precious metals are a defense measure against inflation and a stock market that might take years to recover. So what can you do right now to protect yourself? Call United Gold Group. We offer gold and other precious metals delivered securely within 72 hours. Are you worried about the stock market? We can also help you set up a real gold or silver IRA or a 401k. Safe and secure. United Gold Group makes gold ownership affordable. Call now and get up to $2,500 in free gold or silver with a qualified IRA. Call 800-753-8534. That's 800-753-8534 or visit unitedgoldgroup.com.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
Welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Great calls tonight. Yeah, it was pretty funny earlier when we did the experiment. What I'm talking about. We had 2 or 3 feeds happening at the same time going in to the Making Contact auditorium there. And it was really funny. I'm listening to Mark. I'm watching the screen change. They're trying to mute, unmute. I'm muting. They're unmuting. Yeah. Oh, man. Live radio. But we've got it all sussed out now. And let me just say that to everybody that's in the auditorium, hang out after the show tonight. I will immediately jump in to the auditorium after the show. So stay right there, and then we'll have a little live chat with everybody there. Okay, it's going to be a lot of fun. So don't leave. Hang out, because I want to hang out. I want to be able to avatar. I want to be able to do this too, and it's really cool. I'm really enjoying the technology. So with that, let's get back to the phones. Let's see who's on the hold the longest. Let's see who this is. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Dylan from Fort Worth, Texas. Build motorcycles, daughter Lux.
Oh my goodness, man! Oh, it's been a few years.
No, yeah, I call you here and there. I try here and there. It was a little crazy tonight. The hold, I kept getting dropped, so glad I got through. I got 2 quick questions, and I'll let you get to other callers.
Oh, okay. Hold on, Dylan. Are you still doing the
yes,
TV
sir.
show?
No, I haven't done that in a while. But I talked to Gilby the other day.
How's Gilby? How's he doing?
He's good. He was up in Sturgis. So
yeah, everybody's up in Sturgis right now. Ron Keel
Totally.
posting those pictures. Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So Gilby, did he ride your bike up to Sturgis?
Oh no, I didn't do one. I didn't do one with him. I did a part for George Lynch.
Oh, that's right. I remember
on his
that.
bike that Gilby built for George.
That's what
and
it
George
was.
did not ride it. Yeah, George wasn't riding it. He said I had asked him, and he said that they were on tour, so he couldn't ride it.
Oh, okay. All right. How's your daughter?
Yeah.
Man,
she's awesome, man. Thank you.
How old is she now?
She is 14 now.
14.
She's going into high school and a cheerleader, so she's awesome.
I'm just trying to think how old she was back in the day. Yeah, she was probably 8.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's totally
now
right.
she's 14.
Yep.
In a minute, she's going to be in college, Dylan. In a minute.
I know.
In a minute. So anyway, it's really great to hear your voice. It's been too long. So what's on your mind? You said you had 2 questions.
So two things. Okay, I think I can name all the guitars behind you that I can see. And I have a suggestion. Switch them out so for fans like me and Mark from Dallas, I know, move them around. I'd love to see what else you got there, because I only get there's probably about 8 of them I can see.
Okay. What do you want me to move?
I know that's
I'll do it right now. What do you want me to move?
No. I mean, every time you set up, it'd be kind of cool to see a different configuration of what's behind you.
Well, like what?
Oh, I don't know. I see George Lynch's Tiger. I see a white gem that Steve buys. I see the flame gem. Oh, I didn't even see that. That looks like a Klaus Meinhof Explorer. I would guess that's Flash Gibson. And then is that a Jackson or a Kramer?
Where?
It's orange. It's next to the flame guitar. Is that the Jeff Beck or the Elliot Easton model?
Oh, that is that's a really cool guitar. Hold on for a second. Let me move this down here, and I'll put this up here. See everything now. See, you got me all messed up.
I'm sorry. That looks like an Yngwie.
And that is, and it's
Okay.
got Yngwie pickups in it. Okay. Oh, you're talking about this one, right?
No, all the way next to the flame guitar, the gem, that flame actual Steve Vai guitar.
This one. Okay, but which one? The orange one next to it?
The orange one next to the flame guitar, is that the Jackson or the Kramer? Because there was.
This is a Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And
So it was the Jeff Beck one.
Yeah. What's cool about this guitar? This is a reissue from the Charvel that was made in around 1985. And so Jackson reissued it. The original ones were seafoam green.
Yes,
right?
That's right.
And they were Charvels, and they had a lefty headstock on it. This has got a righty
That's right.
headstock. This has got a righty headstock. But what's cool about this guitar And I'm glad that you pointed this out. This has got 3 Seymour Duncan
single coils.
No, humbuckers. Those are single coil.
Those are really.
Those are single coil humbuckers. And it's a neck through 24 fret and original Floyd. And this is a great guitar. And I'm glad that you noticed. So that's what this is. Okay. All right.
So that light blue one next to that, is that a performance or is that a Mighty Might?
This one. Okay. No, this is a Jimmy Church. I built this guitar and carved it. And if you look
nice.
if you look at the headstock, it says Church Fadercaster.
Oh, wow.
So I carved
awesome.
this body myself. I cut it out myself. And then I had Pat Wilkins paint it, and it's this fuzzy matte finish. It feels like peach fuzz, and there you go. So it's got an original Floyd bronze, all bronze hardware, bronze on the top, bronze machine heads, and but I built, and this thing is great, man. This thing, the neck was hand carved. And there you go. So that's the Church Fadercaster.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
All right.
That's so to get back to the task at hand. So the question I had, not regarding guitars, was, let me ask you this. So I was watching the Netflix special, and I finished that today, and they had Emery Smith on there, and they were talking about how he used to work for Stephen Greer, and I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But I was curious, does Greer ever talk about Emery Smith to kind of legitimize what he's saying? Or, because he seems to be, okay.
Yeah, I think I can't speak officially on that, but I don't think that they had a good parting of the ways. I've never heard Stephen Greer say Emery's name to me privately or publicly. It's like, I don't know. It's like, that's it. I don't know. I mean, I've never asked either of them, but it's really strange how the two of them don't talk about it unless they are asked. And I've never talked to Greer about it directly. Okay, so next question.
Interesting.
Yeah.
No, that was it. I was just guitars and UFO question. I wanted to keep it short because I know that other people are probably trying to get it through. But yeah, that's okay. Interesting. Yeah, I just didn't know if he legitimized Emery Smith at all, and I just missed that somewhere along the way. Or
I'll say this to you, Dylan. I am still bike shopping. I've got my every time.
Oh, yeah?
Every time I kind of zone in on something, and I really like the Triumph bobbers, right? And
nice.
I like the Street Bob Harley. I like that a lot. And now Harley has come out with this new super duper Sportster. It's like $14,000.
I've seen it. Yeah,
that thing looks pretty cool, man. And
it does.
So it's just like weird. Every time I kind of think I like the Ducati Cafe Racer. I like that a lot, actually, and I was leaning there, and it's just weird. But I don't know.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I don't know what to do. I even like the Indians, so I don't know.
Here's my thought. Two things. The Ducati. I have a Ducati. I have an old monster, and I love it, but it's uncomfortable as hell. But the older I get, the more I like the relaxed position of sitting up, not crouched over when I'm riding.
Yep.
So let that thought steer you to the direction of which way you're going to go. So looks are one thing, but if you're sitting on that thing for a couple hours, comfort is number one.
So you think bobber is the way to go?
Yeah, you know what? There's Triumph builds a cool bike. I have a Triumph too. I have a Bonneville, 07 Bonneville, but I ride that more than any of my other bikes.
Yeah, I know.
It's just comfortable.
There is something about like a 72, 74 original Bonneville with the blue and white tank. And that old tech drum brakes, the whole thing, right? And that it's got all the juice you need. It's a 750. It's a thumper, or not a thumper. It's a dual, but it has that sound, and it's the quality of a Jaguar, right? A Bentley. It's the British, even the old Nortons, and so they're BSA, right? And so there's a thing about that. And when you look at the new Triumphs, even the new Bonnevilles, they still have that vibe to them. And then when you look at the way that
look.
Yep, that classic look. And that's why I like that bobber. That Triumph bobber is pretty cool. And the things that you can do to it to make it look more vintage. But I do. I like that new Sportster is off the hook. I don't know about spending $15,000 on a Sporty. That's
wait a couple of years, it'll go down to about $9,000.
But
hey, Lux and I are going to be out there in December.
Okay.
So we'll have to come help you go bike shopping or something.
I would love to do it, and tell Lux I said hello. Okay, please do that. Don't forget.
Will. Oh, I definitely will. She's still up and running around, so I will.
I'll talk to you, Dylan. Have a
Jimmy, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
You too. Dylan and I, he originally he did a TV show, bike builder, part builder, and stuff. But anyway, but it was his daughter Lux, and they called in. This is a long time ago. We're talking 6-7 years ago. And we just started communicating and things, and it's just great to hear his voice. I haven't talked to him in a long time. That was awesome. That was a great phone call. Thank you, Dylan, and please tell Lux I said hello. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live. You are live on the air.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
You're live.
Jimmy, calling you from Daytona Beach, Florida. How are you?
Who's this? What's your name?
My name is Jimmy also.
All right, Jimmy from Daytona Beach. What's on your mind, man?
Yeah, I actually didn't expect to get through because I was on hold for so long, but I'm a Coast Guard veteran down here.
Uh-huh.
And I spent a number of years in the Coast Guard. I had top secret security crypto clearance.
Okay.
And I just want to give you a little on-the-ground boots report.
What's going on?
From well, I can say that we've had an uptick in UFO sightings down here, and we're seeing a lot of military hardware being brought in that we haven't seen in the past. And we're talking Apache attack helicopters.
Really?
The new F-20. Yeah, the new F-20 stealth fighter jets taking off out of Daytona, flying in simultaneous patterns, and it's been happening over about the last 3 or 4 weeks. We've never seen that kind of hardware down here. I can tell you firsthand. I know what we've been seeing, and we have the Embry-Riddle College right next to us at the airport here.
Yeah, which is the big flight school.
Yeah. I don't really want to get too exposed here, but I can tell you this. Recently, hovering over turns 3 and 4 of Daytona International Speedway about 3 weeks ago, we had a disc out there hovering about 3,000 feet in altitude that was not supposed to be there at 7:30 in the morning on a Saturday.
You saw it?
And it was captured on photo, and that's all I can really tell you right now. No, it was out there inambiguously, and it was seen from the spotters tower at Daytona International Speedway. And it was not supposed to be there. It was definitely confirmed that it wasn't a drone or an aircraft, that anything we'd ever seen. And that information was passed on to not only the airport, but some higher-ups. And since that time, we've seen a lot of military aircraft here, man. I mean, Navy, Coast Guard coming in and flying close patrols over the area. And then recently we had Apaches here last Saturday that we all saw and took video of.
So what do you think's going on? What's going on?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of questions being asked, and that's not an isolated incident either. There was another sighting on Tuesday that was called into New Smyrna, just south of here, and I was forwarded some photos tonight from a woman not far from the track here in Daytona. Had something over a tree line in Daytona also. We've been seeing some weird stuff out here, man, for the last month and a half, and nobody really knows what's happening.
Well, it's such a heavy. There's such a big military presence on that whole stretch of Florida, actually. But do you think it could be? I mean, do you think it's ET? Let's just get straight to it, or do you think it's some of our secret experimental craft?
I don't know. Some of us have been talking about that. Even the students from Emory. I mean, it wasn't just an isolated witness. I mean, a lot of people saw this thing, and
I have a friend.
We don't know.
I have a friend right now that is going to Emory. Right now.
Yeah.
Right now. Who's that? Yep. I will. I'll make a phone call tomorrow. I'll confirm this. Well, not confirm it, but see if he's heard any chatter. Very, 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 very interesting. But I can follow up on that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the call, bud.
All right, Jimmy. Have a great night, my friend. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Daytona Beach. You know, when I think of Daytona, it's military, right? It's just military. Now, I haven't heard, and I'm going to throw this out to the Fadernauts before I get to the next caller. Has anybody heard or seen this craft that was over the Daytona Speedway? Yeah, that's. He said it was about 3,000 feet. Okay. Spotter's Tower, which is, there's a few of them there, but very interesting. And if the Fadernauts, if anybody has seen this picture, post it up in Twitter. I would like to see it. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hello, this is Todd. Thank you for taking my call.
How you doing, Todd? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Long Beach, California, right down the street.
Right on. What's going on in Long Beach, man?
Well, I want to talk about two sightings that one my entire family had, which was about 3 to 4 months ago. There was about 9 total red orbs kind of coming and going together and then shot out at about a 45-degree angle out over Catalina Island. Now, I recorded that on a video on my phone. It did get the red of the orbs and stuff. And let me go back about 7 years before that. My wife and I in Redondo Beach I saw the first 6 of 2. They were probably together, but they were coming up out of the water. And I called my wife when the 6 or the third pair of 2 came out of the water. So I've already seen 6 come out of the water together.
Right.
And she came out and saw the last set of 2 of 2. So there was 4 more that after came out of that. So there was 10 in all. And I spoke to a friend of mine about that. And he said there was some military people that he knew of that had observed that with some special scopes. And I said, oh, really? Can you tell me more? And he said, I can't get into it. But that area, as you know, South Bay is a hotbed. And what was interestingly enough, 7 years ago, the back of the craft coming up out of the water literally looked like the back of the Millennium Falcon. I'm not kidding. Like the color, everything. And it was really interesting because there was a really low, like, marine cloud type layer on the water. And then above that, it was clear. And then above that was another marine layer. So that's maybe how I got to see all of them come up out of the water. But it was very, very interesting. And I'm kind of not looking forward to a third time, because they say a third time's a charm. But I know how these things work. And so it's interesting. I don't think that's actually been the first or second time I've seen these things. I think I've been seeing these darn things since I was a kid. And I've lived in both coasts, East Coast, West Coast, lived in Virginia. Now I'm in California, been out here for a long, long time. And let me get on point number 3. I do believe that they've been tunneling. I do believe that guy was really right on track with it, because as we know, there is a patent that the CIA has for a nuclear tunneling device. I'm going to tell you a little story about a gentleman that stayed in my house. He walked out of Iran during the Iran-Contra thing when the embassy was taken over, because he knew Farsi and he knew how to cook Middle Eastern food. He was a CIA spook plumber. If you know what a plumber is, I won't go further than that with what they are. And he told me that his whole family was either doctorates in one thing or another. And his sister was a doctorate in math and physics. And he told me this, that she helped develop the maglev train systems that run, he says, from coast to coast and from up and down the coast. So like you'll have the East Coast, they have their line going from north to the south of the East Coast, and same with the West Coast. And then you have all these intermingling lines that connect. And I do believe this because there have been too many things that I've heard on my end and too many things that I've seen that are patents that make me to believe that we're not being told the truth about energy, how energy can be used, how energy can be directed, and how energy can be harnessed. And what I mean by harnessed is, you know about the ley lines and the Tesla stuff and all that. I don't need to get into that. You know about all that. But what I find very interesting is that I don't know what the UFOs, the things that come out of the water or any of that. I'm not going to even, I speculate one way or another. I'm 50-50. Is it demon technology that these guys, kind of like some sort of Enoch thing, where these people were conferring with something and then got what they wished for? Because this certainly goes back to pre-World War II, especially with the different departments, not just with Germany. We were doing the same thing. England was doing the same thing. We know this all from the OSS reports, okay? Mm-hmm. Operation of Special Services and the Foo Fighters during World War II. And then, we've got the not one, but how many trips did Bird go down there for? 5?
No,
5 or 7?
No, I think it was just one, but...
I think he did more than one.
No,
and when he was...
okay.
And when he went down there, what I think is remember, in his diary, quote unquote, we don't know if that's his diary or not, but he says that his plane was remote controlled in to a place, okay? And that he saw some sort of hollowness in the middle of this area of Antarctica. Now, why would they go down to Antarctica with a full-blown battle fleet, including the aircraft carriers, the submarines, the supply ships, all kinds of stuff, battleships, cruisers, destroyers? It was not a small little fleet.
Yeah.
Went down.
Hey, Todd, I got to head to a commercial break, but call me back next Thursday and let's talk about this some more. I find all of that interesting, but your sightings off of Catalina. I want to hear more about that. And thank you for the phone call. And as I head to a commercial break right here, and this is Fade to Black, and it's Thursday night, and it is Fadernight. He's right. Redondo Beach, Steve Murillo had his sightings down there. Everybody else has had their sightings down there. Ronald Reagan and so forth. Lots of stuff that go on between Hermosa Beach, Santa Monica, Redondo, and Catalina Island. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I'll be right back. More of your phone calls are next. Stay with me.
Hey, what up, y'all? It's your girl Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I take Life Change Tea supplements every single day. It's what I do. Click on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. This is Jimmy Church, and I invite you to attend the 20th Annual Los Angeles Conscious Life Expo live and in person this September 17th, 18th, and 19th at the LAX Airport Hilton. Connect with exhibitors, community, thought leaders, and friends as we begin to recreate the world. You can also watch the expo from the comfort of your own home. Live stream from the main stage in Los Angeles and from the main stage in London. Truly a global simulcast event broadcast around the world. Live stream and in-person expo tickets are available now. I'll be your host all weekend long from Los Angeles. And on Friday, it's my Ancient Secrets and Earth Mysteries themed segment with James Keenan, Caroline Corey, and William Henry. And on Saturday, Daniel Sheen and I sit down for a one-on-one interview live. We have an amazing lineup of 25 speakers, including Bashar, Gail Thackeray, Kimberly Meredith, Whitley Strieber, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Brinkley, and Lisa Garr. Please visit ConsciousLifeExpo.com for tickets and info. That's ConsciousLifeExpo.com and use that promo code Jimmy for a special discount. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today.
This is Billy Carson with ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. Forbidden Knowledge TV has just reached its 1-year anniversary. That's right, 1 year. And as a show of appreciation, we are giving all new subscribers a free 30-day trial of ForbiddenKnowledge.tv. That's 30 days to binge watch thousands of movies, documentaries, conferences, workshops, lectures, yoga classes, meditation courses, and so much more. So log on to ForbiddenKnowledge.tv from your computer or mobile device, or get the Forbidden Knowledge TV app on Apple TV, Roku, Amazon, iTunes, or Google Play today, and use coupon code 30daysfree. That's coupon code 30 days free on ForbiddenKnowledge.tv today.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from TalkStream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Erica, Brittany, Gabby, and you're listening
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. Thursday night, Fader Night. Open lines all night long. Got one segment left. 747-228-2051. 747-228-2051. And if you're on hold, I will get to you. I want to remind everybody that is over at the Making Contact Conference area at the campus, the Jimmy Church Auditorium tonight. I will be joining everybody immediately after the show tonight, and I want to test this stuff out too. I want to kick the tires and light the fires and hang out with all of you. And so with that, 7451, we've got one segment left. Great night of phone calls. And right now, this is why I love Fader Night so much. Right now, just I mean, it just doesn't get any better. This is my job. This is incredible. This is my job. And I certainly paid my dues over the years. I did. You know what I did? You know, my first job for like 2 years, McDonald's. That's right. I put on the suit and the uniforms at the McDonald's I worked at were those brown ones. And chocolate brown with the paper hat. And, man, I was the grill master. And my first, I'm going to get to the calls here in a second. This reminds me. So I'm 15. Didn't have a work permit. I come up from Panama, and I'm in Indianapolis, and I buy this guitar, Gibson Les Paul, but I had to work it off. So my dad, who just passed away, John, gets me this job at McDonald's without a work permit. And this is the truth. I mean, just breaking the law. And my job, 3 months, man, summer vacation, was cleaning the tables and emptying the trash. So I'm out there for like a month doing this. Literally, that was my gig. Cleaning the tables, emptying the trash. All right, I was cool with it. And then the manager comes up. His name was Steve. I'll never forget this guy. He comes up and he goes, "Hey, man, I'm going to promote you. I'm going to put you on the cash registers." I said, "All right, man, I got promoted." Okay. So, and that was it, man. That was my job. You want fries with these shakes? You know, and I was the best cashier, and I thought it was the greatest job in the world. And so then I go back, I get the guitar, I go back to Panama, and then a year later I come back for a vacation again, right back to McDonald's, man. Right back to McDonald's. But it paid for those guitars. That's all I got to say. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
This is Uncle Bob from California.
This is Uncle Bob from California.
Yeah, we spoke once before. I was telling you about how I got Dave Medicaid and Leonard Hayes together.
Okay.
In Fremont. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I was saying, so, okay, this time I think I'm going to bring up, what was I going to bring up, Paul? I forgot. I want to tell you, you're talking about your first guitar, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, my first guitar, I was at a kegger party, you know, like they used to have back in the day, and things kind of got out of hand, and this old Gibson guitar got busted over this guy's head, right? And the next morning, I'm helping him clean up after the party, and they were throwing the guitar away. I'm like, hey, wait a minute. So I took it home, and I patched it up with some Elmer's glue and an ace bandage. I just wrapped it up, left it for 3 days, and that thing had just the right rattle and hum. And from then on, that's when I've been playing guitar ever since.
Oh, right on. What kind of guitar was it?
Yeah, it was a Gibson. It was all Gibson.
Gibson what?
No, it's just a Gibson. It was before Les Paul and stuff. It was 1940s, I believe.
Oh, wow. Do you still have it?
But no. I actually, I kind of lost that thing. But
yeah,
but that's what got me playing guitar. It's just that. And so I went down to I'm not supposed to say Guitar Center or something, but and I was looking for another guitar. I love your wallpaper, brother.
Yeah.
I sit there and stare at your wall and just go, oh, God. And but anyway, I went down there and they had a Yamaha. It's all black, and it was $500 guitar going for $30, and I was like, why? Somebody had dropped it. So
you bought
They
it.
got this cool thing. Yeah, and they got this cool thing. I bought it for $30, right? I paid $32, and if I break it to where it doesn't play anymore in the next 2 years, they replace it with a brand new one.
Right on, Uncle Bob. I have I don't have it out here. It's packed away. I have a guitar. It's a Jackson, and I was at Guitar Center. This is a while ago, and I was just walking through, and I find this Jackson. It's hanging there. And I thought, okay, so I take it down, and I looked on the back and had this big gouge scratch in the back of it. And I forget what, it was like $1,000 or $900 or whatever.
Right.
And I turned to the set. I said, how long has this guitar been here? And he said, man, it's been there, man, for like 2 years. Nobody will buy it. It's got that scratch in the back.
Right.
And I looked at it. I said, all right, $150 right now. And he goes, no, man, it's $1,000 guitar. I said, go to the manager, tell him it's me out here, and I'll take this out of here right now. No case, no nothing. $150.
Right.
I bought that guitar. I bought that guitar for $150. And I remember driving home. Yeah, I still got it. And I remember driving home, and it's in passenger seat, no case, no nothing, just sitting in, and I'm like, man, I just got this guitar for $150. It's got a scratch on the back. Who cares? And I stole that thing. Stole it. All right. So, Uncle Bob, what's on your mind?
Okay.
Was that it?
No. Which one were you tell me about, Paul? Okay.
The first one with me and
okay.
You. And,
okay, there's one out the falls here, Lake Tulloch. I'm in California. There's one out the falls, and my son he's got this high-powered laser, right?
Uh-huh.
And he's got this high-powered laser, right? And you're not supposed to point it at planes or nothing like that. But, you can spot satellites with them or pointing them out, right? And so I'm sitting there doing that, and we thought we saw the satellite. And when I hit it with the laser, it speeded up. And when I hit it again, it speeded up even more. It was like this thing didn't even like that, It was so cool.
Hey, Bob, enjoy the rest of your night.
You too, brother, man. It's good talking to you again.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. And that's a great phone call right there. That's a great phone call. I feel like we all know Bob. Yeah, I just know that guy. I know that guy. But yeah, I did, and I remember. So I go. The manager, I used to work at Guitar Center, then I worked at Elise's, and most of the managers know me. We've had a relationship that goes back a number of years, and so forth. So. Not that he would know me from Fade to Black. Yeah, nobody at Guitar Center would. But anyway, so the salesman comes back, and this is the thing. A salesperson at Guitar Center, if you're going to sell something like that he's not going to get any commission. There's nothing in it for him. As a matter of fact, he doesn't even want his name on the receipt. It's like a negative deal, right? So you just don't touch it. But he comes out of the manager's office and comes up and says, "Okay, so the manager wants." So I go in, and it turns out I knew the manager, and we shake hands. He's got the guitar on his desk. It's sitting across his desk, and he goes, "Come on, Church." I said, "Look, man, you're never going to sell this guitar. Nobody's going to buy it. I'll buy it right now. Take it off your hands. Take it out of the inventory." And I picked it up and I showed. He goes, "I know." I said, "Okay, all right, right now." And I just shut up, and we just stood there. The sign. He goes, "Okay, all right." Now he's got to go and jump into the computer and put in his password and his approval and take the neg deal, which is what they call it. And but I bought that guitar, and it was cool. Oh, it still is. One of these days I'll pull it out and I'll show you the gouge on the back. From the front, it looks great. Oh, this thing, the other thing, the fretboard full of dirt. It had been played forever. This thing was broken in. It was like a cool guitar. It's cool. Floyd Rose. So there you go. All right. Oh, man, I love my Guitar Center stories. I've got a million of them. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling? You're live.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello? Am I live?
You are live right now.
This is Christina Gomez.
Christina, what are you doing?
No, I was calling just to inform you. I did watch Galaxy Quest like you suggested, and I loved it. It was really funny.
Everybody, it's Christina. Now, Christina, okay, we're going to talk about Galaxy Quest in a second, but didn't you have enough of me today?
Never.
I mean, seriously. These shows that we've been doing together, it appears that everybody's enjoying themselves.
Well, I think they're enjoying you, being able to interact with you with the smaller audience. It's a lot of fun. But I forgot to tell you, I watched it a few days ago. I didn't have the chance to tell you that I watched it, and it was such a good recommendation. I think everyone should watch it. It's actually hilarious.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Okay, so now let's talk about Galaxy Quest for a second. The reason why, if anybody missed the show that Christina and I did, this is a couple of weeks ago, and we did a segment on reptilians. And Christina flashes up on the screen a picture of a reptilian, and which was great. But what I had told the audience, what I saw at that moment, reminded me of the villain in Galaxy Quest. I can't remember his name. I'll think of it here in a second. But and so I said to Christina, I said, doesn't that look like the reptilian from Galaxy Quest? Christina goes, I don't know. I haven't seen it. I said, wait a minute. You can't be a Class A respected radio host working for the debrief and not have seen Galaxy Quest. It's illegal. It's illegal in most countries. And it was funny how I called you out on that, but you took the time to go and see the movie. Now, after everything that I said about your reptilian illustration that you put up on the screen, and now that you've seen Galaxy Quest, was I right?
Yeah, I think it was definitely similar to the picture of a draconian, but it also had some kind of insectoidal characteristics as well, kind of like a wasp or maybe a possible praying mantis of sorts. So I feel like it was definitely a cluster of different aspects, but I think they really nailed it for the time period, which was 1999. A great job on the villain.
Yes, and now what did you think of the overall story behind Galaxy Quest? Are you a fan of Star Trek?
Oh, of course. It is against the law, right? It is against the law to not like Star Trek or Star Wars and be a ufologist or a researcher or an enthusiast. I mean, you have to. So it's a part of the rules.
Now, I'm trying to... Somebody post up, what was the villain's name in Galaxy Quest? I need to know. Let me see here. Hold on for a second. Let me pull it up. I might be able to get it here in just a second. Wow. Okay. I can't find who played. What was his name?
Not even I can remember.
He didn't make
Malthazar?
No, that's
the main character of the alien.
Yeah.
Lazarus?
No. I can't. It's not listed here on IMDb. Isn't that strange? And I would know his name in a second if I read it, but it is not here. I'm going to look one more time. No. Yeah, not here. Huh? Who
That's
played?
A crime.
Yeah, let me pop this over to TweetDeck. Who is the Saris? Yes, Brian, you are good. No, not Kalon. No, that's Dennis Cox. That's a whole nother movie. But Saris, yes, Saris. But the way that they did it for me for Galaxy Quest that I thought was so cool was to, yes, not make fun of, but put a comedic spin on Star Trek conventions, what a fan is like, what it's like to be dedicated, and then to have the other part of it where our transmissions, television, radio, goes out to the universe, right? And that part of it, especially in our UFO world, I always thought was very interesting. I enjoyed Galaxy Quest from beginning to end, and I watched it. I watched it 2 weeks ago. When did you see it?
About a week ago, maybe a little bit less.
Maybe
5 or 7 days.
Wouldn't that have been weird if we saw it at the same time?
With you, honestly, nothing is weird.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to let me ask you this. What is it like? Here I am with you and Will today, you youngsters, and you two youngsters, and having me on the show. Am I hip and cool, or am I truly the old guy in the room? Be honest.
Being honest, I think regardless if you are old or young, you have so much information that you can share to the world. And like you said, you feel 21. So I guess it's how you feel is all that matters, because you're able to relate to my generation, your generation, and the ones in the middle, and the ones that are a little bit older and a little bit younger. So overall, I think that was a funny question, but you're not too old. You are hip and fresh, and you get with it.
I'm hip and fresh and to the curb. So now, listening to you now, are you getting more comfortable inside of yourself?
I think with the more knowledge that I have, the more podcasts that I've done, the more people I've interacted with, it's made it a lot easier than when I started. I don't even have the courage to watch my very first podcast yet, or even my very first interview, because it is so painful to watch, honestly, just because I was, at the time, 6 months ago, a year ago, I was so new to it. And you can obviously tell the newbie ambiance around myself. But now I feel more confident, but there's still so much more to go.
Yeah, and it's really true. And I, even with the amount of shows that I have done, and it's a crazy amount of shows, that no matter what, no matter where you are, your next show is going to be better. It's just the way that it is. And then so when you block out 20, 30, 40, 50 of them, and then you go back and you think about 50 shows ago, it's like, holy crap, man, I really sucked. And because you are seeing the improvement in yourself. It's just the way that it is. And the more that people tell you, Christine, and this is the truth, the more that people tell you that you're great, this is awesome, every time you hear that, you know that you have to get better. You have to. You cannot.
100%.
You cannot just kick back and go, oh wow, okay, I guess I've arrived. No, you haven't. And the more that people say that to you, the more pressure you put on yourself to constantly improve. And that's it. There's an old saying that goes back, and I believe it's a couple thousand years old. It's Chinese, and I believe, which is to master anything, it takes 10,000 hours. 10,000 hours. That is longer than you think. And to give you an idea of how long 10,000 hours is, Fade to Black is show number, I don't even know. Hold on, I'll tell you in a second. Tonight is show number 1,472. Wow, right? Now, times that times 3. That is only 4,500 hours. That's how long 10,000 hours is. So apparently, I've got another 8 years to go. Right?
Dang.
Just think about it like that. And that's the level of commitment. So that is always the number that professionals, you're a guitarist or you're a singer, you're a show host, you're a sculptor, you're an artist, whatever it is, 10,000 hours. 40 hours a week, right? Do the math. So the journey is wonderful. You're in the middle of this, and always remember, right now, you're on the right path, and I love what you're doing. You're bright, you're grounded. I dig all of that, Christina. And just remember, the next show is always better than the last one. And you just keep moving forward, and don't change, okay?
Right back.
Christina, I'll talk to you tomorrow. I got to roll credits and get 3 more hours in on my 10,000 hour quest.
You got this. At one. Yes.
Thank you, Christina. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. Bye.
Christina Gomez checking in with the last call of the night. Thank you so much, Christina. She's the best. She's great. She's got a great future in front of her. All right, so that wraps another Thursday night here on Fade to Black. That was a good call. That was a nice surprise. Good way to wrap up this week on Fade to Black. Now, everybody over in the campus, stay right there. I'm going to be joining you in about 90 seconds. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Kevin. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Viteau, and Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy. SpaceboyMusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2021 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. I want everybody to have a great, safe, fun, amazing weekend. I'll see you right back here on Monday. But until then, it's time to fade to black.